Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing expiration of K-1, K-3, CR-1, IR-1 visas. That's primarily, we deal with a lot of that here in our office, basically family-based visas, fiancés, marriage, that kind of stuff. I mean, quite honestly, it's not so much we're unable to do employment-based visas, it just doesn't seem like it pops up very often. But the reason for the video is I've had a lot of people recently ask me about, well, what's the expiration date on my K-1 visa? What's it going to be? And probably I'm hearing this a lot more again because there was a long time in there where I wasn't hearing anything about visas because they weren't processing much out. And now we're starting to see cases, things have kind of thawed. We're seeing stuff move through the embassy with a little more frequency. So I guess I'm just kind of hearing this question a lot, and it's a valid one. But yeah, a visa does expire. It has a sort of a facial expiration date, if you will, once it's issued. And a lot of people ask me, well, what's the expiration date? How long is it going to last? As soon, once we apply for it, once it's approved. Generally speaking, well, the answer to that question is we don't know until we know. Until you have the visa in hand, you don't know what the expiration date is going to be. Now, and this is the reason that the embassy will tell you, and I will say it over and over, make no irrevocable travel arrangements until you have the visa in hand, because you don't have any kind of right, and right isn't even the correct word, there's no real benefit that's been granted to allow entry to the United States until the visa is actually issued. So that's a big thing. But putting that aside, regarding expiration, at the end of the day, the expiration date is oftentimes dictated by the interviewing consular officer, and that's oftentimes dictated by certain underlying documentation. Now, everybody strives to make sure the documentation is presented in a timely manner, but every once in a while there may be something like a medical exam or a police report, especially third country police reports where you're dealing with a police report not in the country in which you're processing the case. And these kind of situations sort of lend themselves to a situation where you could see the expiration of a visa being very short in duration. It's not 6 months. The rule of thumb is, generally speaking, you oftentimes issue the visa for 6 months, but I've seen visas issued with a week validity. And basically you just have to get into the United States to essentially activate one's landed status. In the case of the CR-1 and the IR-1 visa, as a landed immigrant. Okay, in the case of the K-1 and the K-3, you're landed non-immigrant, but you're landed, you're there, you're in. Now, this doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So be aware of expiration dates with respect to these types of visas, because it can have a tremendous impact on overall travel arrangements.